On this darkest time of the year, the darkest night, we invite you to light a candle with us, friends, because when the season
When
grows,
this when this is the darkest day and night of the year. It is the darkest time of the year. And at this time, there's a lot of darkness in the world that is coming up and that we're all aware of and suffering from one way or another. And there's a lot of people I know, a lot of people that you may know, who are also being affected by this darkness that they are experiencing in their lives. People are dying, people that we cared for suddenly, or relationships are missing or not as healed as we would like them to be. And so it is both the time when we're all supposed to be happy singing Christmas songs or Hanukkah songs or Kwanzaa songs, and yet many of us are having a hard time finding that bright place within us.
in fact, what I've noticed is that we're asked to be singing songs of joy and lighting candles and celebrating with family and gathering. And for so many, this is actually the time when we struggle the most, and there's more depression. And I don't know if who has heard someone say, I hate Christmas. I heard that just today. And and I know it's a big challenge when we want to show up for our loved ones, bringing abundance and joy. And if we're not actually feeling it, that can be a really big challenge. And so it's really important to acknowledge that this season is the dark time of the year. And really, if you're in tune with your true nature of being, this may be a time for reflection, for looking within, for grieving so that you can find the joy.
For that, I've written a poem for this particular month, and it's called Month of Grief and Joy. Now, in these darkest days, we're held responsible for all we create, choices we never knew we made, called to nourish the seed child who connects us to the future, those disparate elements within the womb of our being link our lives with others. When we connect, we become whole. Live with unreasonable faith. Our well of shadows might contain brilliance of innumerable stars. As from within the depths of despair, the birth emerges wholly, whole. And when I just read that, I was recalling being in another new moon gathering last night where we all became aware that well, not all of us, but several of us came aware of how in some ways there are pieces of our family that were shattered, of disagreements that we couldn't see mended, and people we loved that weren't talking to each other anymore. And all of these things are really, really difficult. And yet, because one person spoke up about that, then the others felt permission to share the same thing. And so I think at this time of darkness, the line that I have in this poem, which is about when we link our lives with others, when we connect, we become whole. And that is why at this time, in any way that you can find connection, that we can find connection, that we can recognize each other's pain and each other's imperfection.
And so we really wanted to come here live today to encourage, because we can lose sight of the hope that is to come. And that's why we light candles at this time of year, to remind us that even in the darkest time, there is light. And there's so much hype around what's coming in 2024, and we haven't really entirely wrapped up 2023 yet. So we really wanted to encourage you to look forward into the new year by allowing yourself to completely wrap up what has come over this past year or years, and to really honor what is alive for you at this time. And it may be a time for withdrawing. I know I had to take the month of November to really ground into what's most important here in my life at this time. And now I'm able to start looking forward into the future. And so if you haven't taken the time to ground into what is needed to integrate what's already come, then you may not be ready to take the leap of faith, to have that unreasonable faith that Madeline speaks of in her poem. So it's really, really powerful to take some time to really look at what is most important to you at this time. And then as you go into the new year and you're setting intentions for what changes you'd like to make in your life, be sure that you're coming from a place of being grounded in what your experience now is, and not trying to push that away, because when we push away the discomfort, we're not fully able to embrace the pleasure and the joy of life.
And the thing is also is to recognize that even if we are responsible for choices we unknowingly made, we can forgive ourselves for some of those that we feel were hurtful to ourselves or to others. And it's important to acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm. So I'd love to hear from some of you out there. If you are watching this video, what is it that you would like to maybe lay down or maybe raise up to honor from your life? So that, and what are some of those intentions that you're calling in for yourself? How can you become that leader of yourself that leads you through the dark time into the light? We're really here to lead by example. Becoming our own best leader allows you to show up as your best leader, and together in community, we can really co-create the world that we want to live in, and not feel like we're at the mercy of world leaders who don't have the same values that we have.
Right. Yeah. And as I have in my poem, live with unreasonable faith that our well of shadows might contain brilliance of innumerable stars. And I feel like that's something that is true of everyone.
And so we are setting a vision that we will gather wisdom bearers to really create a movement where we bring the money into the hands of those who value health, freedom, and living life fully for however long we're here together to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And by joining forces and linking arms together, we believe that everyone can really choose the life that you live and not be, just buffeted. That's the word I was looking for, buffeted by the winds of change. So let us know if you got some value from this little talk we did here today, and
imperfect as it has been.
Take some time to really journal around what are those core values that guide you, that get you out of bed each day and guide you to take one more step towards your vision and dreams. And let's do this together.
Yeah, we all have to do this together because human beings are not meant to do it all alone.
True that.
So, sending love.
Namaste.
Namaste. Blessings.